So basically the source list is simple. Against your material and plant combination, which vendor for which time frame he can able to supply the material. Certain times I have given the maximum, this like I can able to reduce the validity also. It depends on my side business requirement. So your vendor should know which material should be supplied against your sales order. So this setting is required. Now let's go to ME11. So this is for your info record creation, like how we have customer material info record in VD51. Like that, we should tell that this vendor will work for this purchase organization, this plant settings. So your info record always have priority compared with your regular settings in sales. In the similar manner, purchase info record is also required, so that this vendor, if I fix for certain price, if this vendor need to give certain minimum quantity, I can control everything here. Like assume that this vendor work for certain currency, I can able to control with info record. This vendor is minimum quantity, if I should like to mandate, I can able to do it. Let's take an example. In your material planned delivery date maybe some 10 days or 15 days. For this vendor I am just giving only 2 days, so then it should follow it. Like you can put the quantity 10 pieces, and minimum quantity, if I say 10 pieces, it should follow it, otherwise your system will not accept it. Okay, so let's put it 5 and standard quantity as 10, and let's try to fix the price. Like let me put 150. Okay, so if I would like to maintain, I can maintain my conditions also, that will be copied to my purchase order. Let's save the info record. So once you go back to the recap, what you have done, we have done item category determination our SD side to determine the third party material item category for your material. So then how my system should know that whether it is a standard material or third party material. Let's go to MM02 and let's try to get onto the sales org 2 tab. Here standard means norm will be there. For third party means bands, you should select it. This is the item category. Now you save it. Now system understand that 200 material is third party material. Now these are, after doing all these settings, let's try to raise a sales order. This is the first step we are getting in. Okay, now I got an order from this customer. Let's assume, so 200 is the material. I got an order for assume like minimum 20 boxes. So for 20 boxes, see, if you see here, item category task is determined because we have assigned bands instead of norm in material master. Let's try to double click and try to go to the conditions. Once I get an order for this customer, so base price is 200. So that means your condition value is, total condition value is 20,000. Okay, so let's go to the sales A tab. 20 boxes into 5 pieces. One box contains 5 means 5 into 20 means 100 pieces. This customer ordered. Let's go and check incomplete log now. And schedule lines, its date is showing 4th September. Okay, it is got confirmed. And if you see, clear observation, previously you used to see for our sales order creation CS or CP, CN or CP. Now third party schedule and category determined based on our schedule and category determination with task material. How you got this? Let's try to go back to Vivo V5. Let me show you. So for your task, it is CS. schedule and category determination. So whereas if you go for TAN, it is either CP or CN based on your MRP type. Always your item category and your MRP type combination will try to determine the required schedule and category determination. Your schedule and category determination will tell about what kind of stock, what kind of movement type, and whether it is inventory stock or external stock. This is all talks about this. CSCs for your third party. That means it is CS means it is delivered by your vendor. Let's try to check what is the stock in our inventory now. So when if you see here 765 is the stock is available. When I do the third party, the stock will not be reduced. Why? Because you don't have delivery for your third party sales. Now let's try to check the sales order in change mode. If you double click here, go to the schedule lines tab, you can see this is the requisition number. It is got created. Okay, how it is got created, this requisition number? Let's go to the schedule and category. If you go for CS, you made a setting here, order type. By using this order type, it is got created. Let us go back to the order again. I will show you. Let's double click, go to the schedule lines, and let's try to check this purchase requisition. But if you see regular sales order, you don't have this requisition tab. You will have only sales and shipping tab, sales and shipping. But if you see here, you got additional purchase requisition tab. Why? Because your NB document is assigned to your schedule and category. If you see the quantity which is there, that means you're passing against the sales order who have given sales order to me. We are just pushing this order to our vendor in the form of purchase requisition. Purchase requisition is nothing but like some kind of inquiry document in our inquiry or quotation document to our vendor. So this requisition, how it can be converted into PO? It can be converted into two ways. You see our account assignment category which is there in schedule and category, it is got copied, and item category S, that means that is purchase that is vendor stock for third party. So let's try to click transaction called ME57. So here, whatever the requisition you created, you assign here. If you would like to specifically wanted to fill material or purchase group, you can fill it, or else you ask to search for your system. Let's click assign purchase requisition. So let's click this. If you see the details, whatever we maintain in our source list for GS Chocobar 100, okay, this is the vendor, this is the document, and this is the item category, this is the account assignment category. And if you see that uh, the date from your sales order, everything is here. Let's check this and click on assignments. Now let's double click on this one. So one second. So once you, because two vendors are there, right? System don't know which vendor, from which vendor we need to pick. We are selecting Joshua the vendor. Now info record is picked automatically. Now click on this. Click on assignments. Now let's try to double click on this. See order type and purchase order date. It is got created with today's date. This purchase group, it is picked from either material master or vendor. And this is the purchase organization that we have created for our company. This organization is buying now. So that means this requisition is now converted into PO. Let's try to observe this. For Josh, cocoa and milk purchase organization got a requisition now from the sales order. Now let's select this from your keyboard and let's try to put it into the this basket so that your purchase order will be created. This is one way of creation, ME57. Or else you can directly go to the purchase order and instead of you can able to fill. Now you see all details, vendor and everything will be copied from your requisition to your PO. This is automatic way of doing. If you don't want to copy, then you can always assign this requisition in ME21N. That is one transaction is there, manual way of creating your purchase order instead of copying from your requisition. So now you got it. You see a lot of buttons here. This is the button need to check actually if any errors are there. Sometimes warning messages will be there. See, no messages issued during check, but you will get a lot of error messages. Sometimes warning messages is fine, but if you get error messages, you just have to fix it up. Now let's try to see the conditions. I told you right, from vendor level info record I have given 150 price. For my customer actually for 200 price is 200. So that means 50 euros profit if I give the same order to my vendor instead of delivering the stock from my inventory. So 15,000 is the condition value. So now let's save this. So let's click this one. So this is the purchase requisition. Just copy this one. Now let's try to create Migo. Migo is the transaction which is responsible for goods receipt. Goods receipt means we are not receiving any goods, but once your vendor says the goods already delivered to the customer, but your SAP system should understand whether the goods received by my customer. Okay, so that means dummy goods receipt we are doing. Let's enter the purchase requisition and press enter from your keyboard. So you got one error sometimes, like the goods receipt is not done, no goods receipt possible for this purchase order. This is one error I wanted to show you, that's why I just took directly. Now let's go to the purchase requisition ME22N. This is the place where if you go, there is something called delivery. You click this tab and click this receipt tick mark and save this. Okay, now again /n migo you are going in. So here you try to copy your purchase order. Let's click this. Now you see all the details for chocobar 100 pieces, it is got copied. Now if you go down, select this item, okay, and click on check. The check always will talks about if any error messages are there. Sometimes you will get error messages at the time of checking. Sometimes you will get error messages at the time of posting. So now vendor is posting the stock. So we have done. So material document posted. Now go to the purchase order ME22N. If you go to the purchase history, so if you see here, so material document some 20,008 it is got created based on the number range for this amount. That means the stock is posted. So if you see here, you have sent stock to your customer by using this vendor. Okay, so this is the sales order. You see sales order details. This is the GL account. Your stock got posted with the help of this purchase order by creating Migo. Anyhow, this system it shows like a dummy Migo, but that means once vendor is delivered the stock to your customer. So now you try to create Miro. Miro means you are sending invoice because I have delivered the 100 stock to your customer. Now this is the time to send my invoice to you. For Cocoa Chocolate Company, being a vendor, I am sending my invoice to you because per piece 150 euros I need to get settled on with you. Let's press enter. Enter the invoice date, the date when it is created. Okay, let's come here, press enter. So this is the process. It need to be done in SAP for incoming invoice creation, or else any purchase side invoice. You just copy the balance. Let's try to calculate the tax. If you click this one, see this, some 19% tax is there, that also will be calculated. So total amount is 17,850. Just copy this amount, just put this amount here, press enter. Okay, so let's remove this one and press enter. So now the balance, it should become 0, then only it will be ready for posting. So then we're sending our invoice to SD now. So let's stimulate this. So you see, so 16 lakh, this is the GL account we got assigned in vendor info record for reconciliation account. If you see the accounts, so this is the one, this is the value for goods received. Okay, this is the tax, input tax, it is applied. Now let's post this. Now let's go back and try to observe your purchase order. Purchase cycle means you have done purchase requisition, purchase order through by using transaction Migo, goods receipt, and after that Miro we are using to send incoming invoice. Now let's try to check purchase order is done. Now if you see here, so goods receipt is this one, and this is the incoming invoice, it is got created. So now let's try to create invoice for your sales order. So if you see, this is the invoice we are sending to our customer. So now let's try to put it. Let's try to release. Okay, account 8000 requires CO account assignment. Some error we got it, and let's try to fix this one. So okay, B9 I think. So here we'll try to go to the new entries. So this is the one CHM 1000 cost entries 1 CHM. Let's fix this 1 CHM. Let's try to put our discount, because external cost center basically will handle your stock posting. So it is not posting to your regular GL account. You will have a, in real-time practice, you will have different GL accounts for your third party. So now let's try to release this one. Now it is got released. Now let's check the accounting document. You don't find any difference. Your postings will be like a similar way. The only difference is that you don't have delivery. So let's try to check doc flow, what we have created till now. VA03. If you click on doc flow, if you see here, this is the order it is got created. So in this, purchase requisition is there. That purchase requisition through your process, it will be created into the purchase order. After that purchase cycle is done, your incoming invoice received to your company. After that, SD invoice will be done. If you see this SD invoice, so as we discussed, let's go and try to observe the conditions. The value is 200, but whereas If you go to purchase order, the invoice is for 150. 200 minus 150, 50 euros is the difference. Let me try to show you one scenario. Okay. And a couple of things you can observe here. Let me try to create a sales order again. So if you see here, this material, and again, I am just filling the 20 box. So let's try to check incomplete log. Okay. I am saving this order. So when I save this order, let me show you the stock. You got a doubt like, it might be moved from our inventory, but I am saying wrong. 765 is there. That means we are not removing any stock from our inventory. So this is the second order again. So let's go to the sales order change or display mode. Let's try to click this one. Go to the schedule lines so that you can find your purchase requisition number. For purchase requisition details, you can click this one. Okay. Now let's try to create purchase order by converting requisition. So you have to go to the transaction called ME57. So now let's copy this one. Let's try to click on assign purchase requisition. Go here. Now select this. So assign automatically. If you click this, you can, if you have multiple vendors, you can able to see here. This is one of the example. This time, again, I am using this order to Josh because 200 is my sales price and 200 is my purchase price. When I don't have, when I have a demand, but whoever giving at low price, he is not available, then I will choose King of Poland. Now this is assume like, if I am getting low price, then I am getting more profit. So I am choosing this vendor then. So let's try to click on assignments. So let's click the double click on this so that it will tell your purchase order date. See, open is this one. So used is, this is already converted into, see, your purchase requisition is with this number range. Your purchase order, it is created means today already we have created one PO. Okay, but a new purchase requisition I am assigning into my box. Now, what is the scenario we are going to see here? So in this purchase order, if you see here, so these are the header details. If you try to observe, previously I didn't show you. If you see org data, your purchase organization, purchase group, and a company code will be there. When it comes to item level, so initially Josh agreed I have 100 pieces, but later he said that he forgotten to send 100 pieces, only sending 50 pieces. That means 50% of the stock. See, PO quantity is smaller than requisition quantity. Okay, let's go ahead and let's try to click on this check button. No error messages. I am saving this my requisition to convert into purchase order. So let's click, it sends with 58, right? Now let's click Migo. So when I'm trying to do Migo with the new purchase order, I'm selecting, I'm just press enter. So it is saying like, no goods receipt possible for this purchase order. Again, you go back, change mode of your purchase order, go to the delivery. I'm just showing this double time. So for your understanding, one scenario with 50% stock. Now let's go for Migo and select the purchase order. Just press enter. All the details are with you. Now let's try to create check item. Okay, and check this. So everything is green means you can go ahead. Okay, let's post this so that receipt is done. Your metal document got created. Now ME22N. Now if you see the purchase order history, you can see the receipt is done for 50 quantity, 50 pieces. Okay, so then let's try to create a SD bill now, SD invoice. So it is not copying at all. If you go for sales order, okay, what is the sales order we created? This is the sales order, right? So this sales order, before Miro, before sending incoming invoice, I am just trying to create a bill. What the system says, we'll try to observe. So let's try to create this. So what it is showing? It is showing some log. That means you cannot able to create bill after your receipt. You cannot able to create bill after your purchase order. So when you get a confirmation, how you get a confirmation to your finance, how much stock is delivered? Through incoming invoice. Once incoming invoice, you got to know, you'll get to know everything. See, item is not relevant for billing. This kind of error, unknown error it is throwing. Now let's try to send the incoming invoice from vendor to our Cocoa Chocolate Company. So let's copy this, our purchase order. What is our purchase order? 58. Let's press enter. So now if you see here, so for your 50 pieces, this is the value. Let's calculate the tasks. So total is 8925. So 8925. So if you enter, the balance is reduced. This is the process. Let's try to create simulate. So this is the value we are posting. So this is the value we're asking from our Cocoa Chocolate Company for vendor to get settled down. So let's pause this. So document got created. Now let's go to the purchase order again. If you see here, purchase order history, you can able to see your material document generated and your receipt is done. Now you try to create your SD bill. So then that means you should know how much quantity it is got created. If you see here, the quantity is 10 boxes. Previously in our scenario, 20 boxes means 20 boxes it is copied because you have sent your customer to 20 boxes. But let's try to check the sales order now. How many boxes we ordered? Actually we ordered 20 boxes. But when you try to create a bill, it is coming only 10 boxes. Why? Because 10 boxes it is got confirmed through your incoming invoice. So what is the setting for this? Let's save this. Let's check this. Okay, it is bit slow. Okay, that's fine. Now let's try to check the accounting document. It is for 50 pieces. This is the value. But how it is happening? In your item category, B7 for task, we have chosen this one, F. This is how important integration with your SD and MM. When receipt is done for your customer for targeted invoice quantity based on incoming invoice value, so your SD invoice will be automatically created. This is how the control will happen when you talk about the integration. So this is all about third party sales. With the minor difference, there is something called individual purchase order that we are going to see in next session.